Welcome back. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will be sentenced for the murder of George Floyd next month. Anjanette Levy shows us why the prosecution wants a harsher sentence, while Chauvin's team says the law doesn't allow for it.
The sentencing of Derek Chauvin is really the last big battle to be fought at the trial court level. And it's no surprise that the prosecution and the defense want different things. In Minnesota, sentences are determined by guidelines that take into account a defendant's criminal history. Chauvin doesn't have a record, so under the guidelines, he would be sentenced to 150 months, which is 12 and a half years. But prosecutors want a sentence that exceeds the guideline. It's called an upward departure. They want possibly as long as 40 years.
The judge has the discretion to depart upward to give a greater sentence, although he does not have to.
Judge Peter Cahill will decide whether aggravating factors existed in this case that would allow for an upward departure. Prosecutors say those factors are George Floyd being particularly vulnerable. They claim that Floyd was treated with particular cruelty and that Chauvin abused his position of authority. The prosecutors go on to say that the crime was committed with 3 or more people and happened in the presence of children. Meanwhile, Chauvin's attorney argues against a greater sentence. He says Floyd was not particularly vulnerable because of his size. Eric Nelson says abuse of a position of authority is not a recognized aggravating factor in Minnesota. He also says the other defendants haven't been convicted, and the state has not proven the 3 other officers intentionally aided Chauvin in a crime. He also notes that children walking by and stopping to witness the arrest is not sufficient grounds for an upward departure.
Not only would the conviction itself be reviewed by a court of appeals, but if Cahill does depart upward and give a greater sentence, that would also be an issue on appeal.
Derek Chauvin is scheduled to be sentenced on June 25th. For Law and Crime Daily, I'm Anjanette Levy.
And be sure to tune in to the Law and Crime Network this Friday for an hour-long special on the Derek Chauvin trial hosted by Anjanette Levy. And thank you for joining us here at Law and Crime Daily. We'll see you next time as we discuss justice in America.